Well, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by boxing icon Ricky Hatton. Very shortly, you're going to be involved in a massive competition called the Box Off. I think we're all looking forward to it. But before then, I want to take a look back to something you did that was quite special back in November. You made a return to the ring against Marco Antonio Barrera, a fellow legend like yourself. And when I was younger, I loved watching you on the TV, but I always dreamed of going to the arena to see the Ricky Hatton band in person, to see you walk out to Blue Moon. What was it like to get back in there and to give a younger generation an experience of what it's truly like to be at a Ricky Hatton fight night?
That was brilliant. The way it was put to me was, the countries had been in a bad situation. We had the lockdown, didn't we, where everyone was locked up in the houses. Mental health went through the roof, and then the cost of living come in, and all that. And so it's not really been a good time for us. But he said, how about having a move about the Manchester Arena against Marco Antonio Barrera, and I think it'll put people's smile back on the face. You can show them what shape you're in now. You can, and you can bang the drum of people with mental health, say, look where I was, but look at me now, and all that stuff. So it was great to hear the roar of the crowd again. It was great to share the ring with Marco, and we all know him as a legend, but it was great to find out just how good he actually was. Hear the roar of the crowd again, and it was it was a very emotional night, but a very enjoyable night, and I'm glad to do it, and people turn around this, the amount of letters I used to get from people, saying, oh, Ricky, I've always struggled with my weight, and I've struggled with my mental health, and I've struggled with depression, but, to see where you were and where you are now, it was, so when people aren't really fans of these exhibitions, I couldn't disagree more. I think it was great for me personally. I've kept my weight off, since it became a lifestyle change for me. And it would give everybody a confidence boost and put a smile on everyone's face. As I say, where the country's been through a tough time, so it was one of the best. I've done a lot of good things in my career, and that was up there. Honestly, it really was.
And something that made you so likable throughout your career, back when you're at the pinnacle of the sport, and even now, is that you managed to always maintain those working class roots. No matter how much fame, no matter how much money you had, you always managed to continue caring about people. How did you keep so level-headed?
I don't know. I think the way it was brought up, I think it was the people and I surrounded myself with and knocked about with. I mean, all my mates now are all my mates that I went to school with. You know what I mean? There's only been like the odd outsider, if you like, but I'm a good country character. I wouldn't let them come into my circle if they were dickheads. So it's so no, and I think it's the way you've been brought up. The way my mum and dad, brought me up. And people always say you've always remained to keep that, that normal touch, your feet on the ground, close to your fans and friends, and and stuff like that. And it always baffles me. I think to myself, why do I want a pat on the back for that? I want you're patting me on the back for being normal. Why? What should everybody else be? You know what I mean? So it is nice because when people come up to me, oh, you're no different, have you? You've not changed or anything. That doesn't matter. I always find it strange that they want to pat me on the back for that because that's the way we should all be.
Absolutely. I think that's very important. And you had these incredible nights. When you're at your very best, you were taking 30,000 odd people to Las Vegas, which is an accomplishment which we haven't seen since. And these Mancunian lads were taking over the strip in Vegas. It was quite iconic. What were your favorite nights and your favorite stories and your best memories from that experience?
I think you can't have a better experience really, and even though it didn't go the way I wanted it with the fight with Mayweather, you know what I mean. I mean, the first time I went to Vegas and saw my name up in lights, I think because I grew up watching Nigel Benn, Roberto Duran, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, fighting in Las Vegas and on the strip. So for the kid from the council estate, to walk down the strip, and see, Celine Dion, Tom Jones, and then Ricky Hatton pops up, it's surreal. You think, well, did that happen? Was that me? And then when you think, when I fought Floyd Mayweather, went to the best pound for pound fight in the world, went to his hometown, you know what I mean, and took 40,000 fans. It was, yeah, the result didn't go that, but to this day, to still have people come up the street, go, Ricky, went to see fight. Went to see fight Floyd Mayweather. Or we went and saw Malignaggi. Or I went to the Pacquiao fight. Oh, some of the best days of my life. You know, stuff like that. It still makes you very, very, very proud. And that was all done without social media. You know, social media's made a big thing of these days, isn't it, about getting your fan base and your followers and your likes and your retweets and all that stuff. That wasn't there when I was there, so I must have been doing something right. And I think it was because not just what I did in the ring. I think it's what I did out the ring and how I was out the ring. I was a little Jack the Lad. I never slagged an opponent off. I was always time for everybody, you know. And I think that's why I had the following I did. I don't think it was just because of the way I boxed, yeah.
And from one corner of the world to another, your beloved Manchester City have just won the Champions League. I believe you were there that night in Istanbul. Can you tell me about what it was like to see your beloved club finally do what everybody said they couldn't?
It's been very tiring going watching Man City win all these trophies, to be honest with you. I went to Real Madrid away, went to the Bernabeu, which was absolutely fantastic. And then I come back the following week, I was at Wembley, which was brilliant, seeing us lift the FA Cup when we beat Manchester United in the final. And then the following weekend, I was on a bit of a Legends tour with me, Frank Bruno, Joe Kawasaki and Nigel Benn, where we went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we were here, there and everywhere. And then the following week, I was in Istanbul for the Champions League final, and it was incredible. You know, when you think, and it was nice that I went with the same mates that I had my season tickets with all my life. I've had the season tickets with them ever since we was in the second division. You know, we sat in the North Stand. You know, it's peeing down, and we're 2-1 down to Grimsby. You know what I mean, and stuff, with the same group of lads. But it's all to be there one time. Sat there thinking second division. You know, Grimsby Town, and no disrespect to Grimsby Town, like, but stuff like that. And then for us all to get, book the flights, get the hotels, and go and witness us win the Champions League. And we all did it. It was the same lads that we had season tickets all my life. So I was left the Premiership, so I was left the FA Cup. So it's the first time City's done it, and we can say we were there. And I think seeing some of the crap we've watched over the years, I think we deserved it, yeah.
And something you always said when you were younger is that you wanted to be a fighter who won world titles, who watched Manchester City win trophies, and always listened to Oasis, and you've achieved all that.
Yeah, Nona Liam and my pals, they carried me belt in, that was brilliant. I boxed at the City of Manchester Stadium, which was fantastic, and I won 4 world titles in 2 weight divisions. Record crowds that went to Las Vegas and that, I always had confidence that I could be a world champion. When I even from a youngster, different people were telling me, you dedicate yourself, you can go all the way and stuff like that. And I did believe that I could do it, because you've got to believe you can do it. You've got to have the self-belief in yourself. But to the extent of the stuff I've just mentioned there, record crowds and massive followings and 2 weight division champions, I was happy when I won the British, but and then it went to like 4 world titles, 2 weights, and all the trips to Vegas, and until we come back against Senchenko, made me come back for other reasons, you know what I mean? Because I was in such a bad way, for a period in my life, and I wanted to come back, to sort of like say to everyone, sorry, and I'm okay now. Look at me, but but it was only probably 2 of the greatest of all time that had beat me until then, So yeah, the fat kid didn't do bad.
You didn't at all, Ricky. And you're now going to be involved in the Boxer, a massive competition. It's going to hit our screens very soon. And I believe you're going to be captaining the Manchester side. What does that mean to you? And for people who aren't aware of this tournament yet, can you break it down for us?
Well, to captain the side for Manchester, and the fact that I could bring some fighter through from Manchester from the very, very, bottom, hopefully, to get the chance to go to the very, very top. And I think it's, not everyone has a following on YouTube these days, or not everyone has a following on social media these days, and not everyone can get a contract at Sky, can get a contract at BT, can they? You know what I mean? And there's a lot of, homegrown talent, whether they all over the country, that because it's all right if you go, if you go to the Olympics, you go to the World Championships or the Commonwealth Games, and then you get your contract, which is great. it's not that easy for some people, and there's some people out there, some good fighters out there that will never get the opportunity like that, you know. But this is an opportunity, this is a chance where they will get that opportunity. And if we can unearth someone from the very, very bottom level and take them to the very top, or even if they don't go to the very top, it gives them a springboard to go on to bigger and better things, doesn't it? You know, and in this world of social media now, you know what I mean? There's, you know, you can see the kids that we don't know the kids that are involved yet, but you know, you can see these kids sat on the sofa at home as we speak now, you know, no money, you know, no contracts, no opportunities, no this, then all of a sudden, bang, they get the knock on the door, they get that. What a wonderful opportunity for some youngster, you know, to get that and to be part of it. And because I don't forget, you know, Ricky Hatton didn't get what he got from straight away. You know, I was a carpet fitter when I first turned pro. That's a carpet fit in order to put petrol in my car and pay for my food and stuff like that. And I know how hard it is on the bottom of the ladder when you're first getting going and you haven't got no money, you haven't, you know. So imagine to give an opportunity to someone like, you know, that's probably doing the same and say, yeah, you've got half a chance here, mate, if you do this and do that. It's a great springboard for people that might not normally get that springboard.
It sounds like you're taking this role incredibly seriously. Can you tell me a little bit about what your responsibilities will be as a captain and how you intend on directing these fighters?
Well, it's just, you know, obviously be there on the night for them, to be honest with you, in the training, when they're in the training camps, leading up to it, they'll get a phone call from me just checking on how they're doing, and everything's all right. And there's a lot of people did a lot for me when I was just coming up through the ranks. I got a lot of advice from Nigel Benn. I got a lot of advice from Frank Bruno. Got a lot of advice, from so many people. And it used to lift me and raise my game and my performance and my attitude. And I've never forgot that. So if these boxers come, they'll go into training camp. They've got a nice opportunity there. I mean, how nice for them to get a phone call off me and go, how's the training going, mate? How's your sparring going? Yeah, is everything going well? How's your weight? Yeah, don't forget this, don't forget that. And needless to say, fight night will be there for the same reasons. And don't forget, I was there where they were, at the beginning. And I know what it means. I know what it meant to me at that stage. So I know what it would mean to them and to get involved. And if I can do something like this that helps them get that first foot on the ladder, lovely jubbly, as they say, yeah.
Lovely jubbly. It's been amazing talking to you, Ricky. It's really appreciated. Thank you so much for giving me some time today to give me an insight into your career, those Las Vegas nights, and this box-off competition that's coming up. But before I let you go, is there anything that you would like to add that I perhaps haven't asked you about?
No, not at all. Just it's very, very, the boxing's changed so much, you know what I mean? But this is an opportunity. I remember years ago there used to be fight night on ITV. You'd probably a bit before your time, but fight night on ITV where there was the small hall shows, and even on Sky back in the day, you'd have the small hall shows. At York Hall, Bethnal Green, which you'd never heard of anyone that was on the bill, but they were getting the opportunity. Them days have gone now, but we're bringing it back with this. With this what we're doing. So hopefully, we can unearth some talent. And it's all about, for me, it's all about, boxing give me a life I could never dream of. My family, some of the things that my family could have never dreamed of. If I can help give some youngster out there get them on the first rung of the ladder going towards to achieve what I've got, then it'd be well and truly worth it.